Hi YouTube. So I'm doing this video as well for a few reasons. Mainly it's a review of the ICL, Visian ICL surgery, a review of that. But it's also about my background and why I did it. And hopefully this will help some people out there who have very severe myopia, like I do. Um, so yeah, I'll start with my background. I was born with high myopia. My mum has it too, and her dad did as well. So yeah, it's like a genetic thing. It runs in the family, um, especially during puberty. Like the myopia just shot up. It reached a point where it's hard to get an exact figure because it's so high. Like it's hard for an optometrist to get a perfect figure, but the highest it was something like a -22 or -23 with -6 diopters of astigmatism as well. So very high with that, which is unfortunate. Um, Through the years, I've tried everything. I've tried silicone hydrogel lenses, which work quite well, but then I got giant papillary conjunctivitis and blepharitis and dry eye. So eventually my eyes couldn't tolerate them very well. But even if they could, the manufacturers of the lenses couldn't go to the prescription I needed because it was so high. So then I moved on to RGPs, which they could never get the fit right for them, mainly on my left eye, because I think my left had the higher astigmatism, but I just couldn't tolerate them. And then finally I settled with scleral contact lenses, which they're like RGPs, but they're bigger. So they don't, whenever you blink, they don't move up and down on your eye. Instead, they sort of sit on your eye with like a pocket of saline between the lens and your cornea, and they don't move. So they were really comfortable, and the vision was pretty good. But the thing with them was that cup of saline would sort of get cloudy after a while, so I'd have to take the contact lenses out anywhere from one and I don't know 4 or 5 times a day, rinse them, rub them, fill them with saline again, and then put them in my eye. So it was less than ideal. Um, and even that manufacturer of scleral lens, like eventually they couldn't add any more power to the astigmatism, so I could see to drive, but I could barely see anything past that, which led me to look into surgery. So the first thing I did was I went to the Centre for Sight in East Grinstead, and that was just a shit show. I don't really want to go into that much, but the optometrist was useless. Like she couldn't find a decent prescription. Um, the actual time spent with the surgeon was about 10 minutes, and half of that time he was basically googling what implantable lenses I could have. And my appointment there was at like 9:15. I didn't leave the clinic till about 5:30. It was just ridiculous. So anyway, then I went to Moorfields Eye Hospital in London, to have a consultation with Mr. Bruce Allen, who I'd actually met in the past in 2012 when I had a GP referral, because of my eye allergies at the time. So I'd met him before, and he seemed competent and very I don't know what the word is, just very confident that he could improve my eyes basically and my well-being. So anyway, fast forward, I had the ICL surgery with him. The cost of it was about 4 grand per eye. And yeah, so you have the initial consultation there where they take measurements of your eyes, seeing if there's enough room for the ICL lens to go in. Obviously, get your prescription and everything, and that's it. You have a surgery date, the lenses are ordered, and you go in. So I went there. Obviously, Moorfields private on the 4th floor at the main hospital. Checked in around 4 p.m. and then the surgery took place at about probably about 8 p.m. So it is quite late. so you get there, they take your weight, your blood pressure, and then they put like this little tablet under your bottom lid. It makes your pupil dilate over a few hours, and then you basically just wait until the surgery is due to start. So then you go down to the surgery room, and they put a sedative drug through your veins. It's like a mix of opiate and benzo or something. Not that that's important, but it really helps calm you down, because I was very, very nervous. I was really tense, and you know, I didn't like the thought of like a bit of plastic going into my eye. But yeah, once you've had the sedation, it's fine. The actual surgery takes about 15 minutes per eye, but they don't do both eyes at once. I had my left eye done first, and then a week later, he did the right eye, because otherwise he'd be walking around with like I might actually have it, two like cups over your eyes. So the first night, you're given one of these, which is just like a eye protective thing. So you put it here and then put tape across it. So you have to wear this every night when you sleep in for a week. You're also given an antibiotic eye drop, which you take 4 times a day for 1 week, and a steroid eye drop, which you take 4 times a day for 2 weeks. And that's it, really. You're discharged the same day that you have the procedure. The first night was really uncomfortable. My eye was very sore. Every time I blinked, it felt like I was like lifting the little flap up, because it's like a 3mm incision where the lens is injected. So yeah, it was uncomfortable, and I felt a bit sick, probably from the sedation. But I did eventually sleep, and then the next morning, your eye feels a lot better. And then it gets better from there. Like when you shower, you have to be sure not to get any water in your eyes. So I mainly, to be honest, just use baby wipes like around my face and for the first couple of days, because I didn't want to risk getting any sort of bacteria inside my eye. Like, do you know what I mean? So hang on, I had a guide of other things to talk about. That's basically the procedure. So $4,000 per eye, 15-minute surgery is very quick. The service at Moorfields Private was brilliant. Mr. Allen is very reassuring, very efficient. So I'd thoroughly recommend him. Side effects is the next thing. Side effects. There are 2 main ones. One is halos, and one is there's a proper term for it, but I'll try to explain both anyway. And I think the best way to do that is if I just draw it. The halos themselves seem to have gotten better over time. It's only been about 2 weeks since my right eye was done, and 3 weeks since my left eye was done. And the halos do seem to be better, but I do have slightly large pupils anyway, but halos are caused by your pupil dilating wider than the optic zone of the implantable lens. And what that does, I'll try and draw it. So imagine you're in like a dimly lit room, and there's one light on, and you're looking at the light bulb. So what I see, and it tends to be worse in the left eye than the right, because my left pupil is slightly bigger than the right. Apparently about 20% of people have that. Like it's just something I have. It's not serious or anything. But if it's really dim light, both eyes will get it. So what you get is sort of like, I should have drawn these beforehand, but whatever. This is such a shit drawing, but yeah. Oh, this camera's rubbish as well. So say that's the bulb. I see a slight ghosting of the bulb. So that's obviously the bulb there. And then I see like this ghosted image of it, which changes in size all the time, like go bigger or smaller and go away. So obviously your pupil size is always moving around a little bit. But it doesn't bother me. I used to get that with my silicone hydrogel lenses, and I had it a bit with my scleral contact lenses too. So, but if people can't tolerate that, what they can do is prescribe you a drop, which you put one drop in your eyes, and it will constrict your pupil for, I think it's about 4 hours each time, something like that. So I probably will end up getting that prescribed just for like nights out or something. But even driving at night, I don't even get it, because like the headlights come in the other way, constrict my pupil, so I don't get the ghosting. The other thing is the latest generation of ICL implants. What they used to do before this generation is puncture like a hole in your iris, which allows the fluids to flow around and stop the eye pressure getting too high. They don't need to do that anymore. The latest ICLs have a tiny hole in the middle, which circulates all the fluids and stops the eye pressure getting too high. The slight drawback with that is you can see in your vision that tiny hole in the middle, and what it is, I can't really draw it, to be honest. It'll be pointless drawing it. Say I'm sitting here and the sun is shining in my eyes from this way, and I look forward, there's like a really thin ring going around like this in my vision in both eyes, which is, it's something to do with the light bouncing off that small hole in the middle, but it doesn't get in the way of your vision at all. Like it's really not a big deal. And apparently eventually your brain will just know to block that out, so you won't even see it after a while anyway. So, oh yeah, there's another thing. ICL surgery, I don't know the exact numbers, but the implants can correct up to, I think it's -18. And I think the toric ones, which I had, correct up to -6 astigmatism. Now, obviously, my myopia is higher than that, hence I'm still wearing glasses. Mine's, yeah, I went to the optometrist after I had the ICLs fitted, and I'm a -3.75 in this eye, and a -4.75 in this eye, and -1 diopters astigmatism in both eyes, if I remember correctly. So what's happening with me is I'm having trans PRK laser surgery in a month's time to get rid of the residual prescription. So then hopefully, if all goes well, I'll be able to see 20/20 without any glasses at all. I can see 20/20 now, which I've not been able to do in a very long time with these new glasses. So yeah, that's next for me. Obviously, if your prescription isn't as severe as mine, you won't need to do that. Something you might find quite cool is so these are my old glasses. This is insane. These are the highest index glass available, so they're the thinnest glass available. They're in a teenager frame, so they're too narrow from the face. But the thing with highly myopic people is you have to get glasses which hold the smallest lenses possible, because as soon as you go into wider frames, this edge here gets thicker and thicker and thicker. So look, they're full-on milk bottle bottom glasses. And if you compare, these are my temporary ones. Obviously, I'm only going to need these for a month before I have my laser. These are just standard plastic. They've not been like buffered on the edges or anything, and I can sort of see, but If you look, there you go, look at the difference there, it's insane. And if you look how wide these are compared to my old ones, and yet they're still thinner at the edges, because these are like proper adult size glasses. And these would cost like 200 plus quid, and these were 25 quid. It's mad. So yeah, there you go. What I can see now, it's sort of blurry looking at my screen here, and my left eye is worse obviously because that's another diopter, but how I am now, I can see to get around without glasses on, but I couldn't drive or anything, hence why I need these for now until I have my laser. So to conclude, would I recommend ICL surgery? 100%. It's just mind-blowing how low my prescription is now compared to what it was, and just how quickly the surgery can be done. I mean, 15 minutes per eye is crazy. Oh yeah, by the way, you don't feel any pain. They put like numbing drops in your eyes. You might feel a bit of pressure when it's sort of pushing on your eyeball to position the ICL properly into place, but there's no pain at all, so don't worry about that. And this coming from someone who was really anxious before the surgery, honestly, it's completely pain free. You're sedated anyway. If you get anxious like I am, you definitely want to be sedated. It makes the whole process like fly by. It's 15 minutes, but it seems like 2 minutes because you're just laying there quite high. So yeah, it's incredible. And if there's any questions you have, feel free to leave a comment. I thought about doing a blog, but I don't feel like enough people would find it on the internet. Obviously, YouTube's a massive platform, so hopefully more people will see it, and I like to think it helps someone in deciding if they want to do it or not. So yeah, I hope this helps. I'll do another video in a month's time. I have the trans PRK laser surgery on, I think it's March the 12th, something like that. I'll have to double check, but I'll do a review on that as well, and like an update on what I can see, etc. So yeah, I hope this helps.